Hey, good evening, guys. So let's do an instructional video on a fingerstyle slash classical guitar piece. So as you see, I'm holding a classical guitar. It has a wider neck. It has a flat. It has a flat fretboard, and it uses nylon strings. So if you're more into finger picking, there's wider space for your fingers to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to play. We're going to play the Cheers theme song, where everybody knows your name, in A major. So probably for those who watched Cheers back in the 80s and the early 90s, it was the original show before Frasier had his own spin-off series. So it's part of the Cheers slash Frasier universe. Stars Ted Danson as the guy who owns the Cheers bar. And of course, Kelsey Grammer as the famous Frasier, who ended up having his own TV series in the 90s. Anyway, it's a very jolly song because it basically talks about having your own group of friends in a local scene. Of course, given the COVID-19 crisis, it's not really advisable to go to bars or to places of leisure where there are mass gatherings nowadays, but back in the day, they would drink their sorrows and hang out with friends over there while having a beer or two. Yeah. So let's say you're somewhere you're lost in. How do you play that song? So we're going to play it bit by bit. Okay. I admit I'm not really an expert in classical guitar. The last time I played classical guitar was way back in high school. But I think I may still remember enough to be able to play some songs in the classical style, very stylized and melodic, polyphonic way. So the first part of Everybody Knows Your Name is the A major chord, and then you arpeggiate. You go through the scale. So you put your index finger on the 5th fret for strings 1, 2, and 3. Put your middle finger on the 6th fret for string 3, and then open string on the 5th string on A, and pluck them at the same time, and then ascending notes. After you do the if you do F sharp, E, and A, after you do F sharp, E, and A in ascending order, and then you go to the ninth fret on the 1st string, so you can get that next note. Go to C sharp. After this, you slide back down. So when you do the slide, your pinky finger will have to hop 2 frets, okay, while the rest hop 1 fret, and the middle finger goes to string 2. So you end up doing this. So you end up doing a E major add 9. Okay? So it sounds like this. And then you slide up. Okay? So you prevent your ring finger from hitting anything, so it doesn't end up being a wrong wrong chord. That's the intricacies of a classical guitar, is that it heavily relies on precision, and the precision in the notes, and also expressing the emotions through the music. Now, fingerstyle, playing on steel string, in my opinion, there's more room for error, because you can just like make the wrong note sound good. I'm not saying classical music is very rigid. It just has its own musical discipline format, and it's good to be able to play both, many styles of guitar. It makes your hands more versatile, makes you more musically versatile. But yeah, what we're holding is a classical guitar, so it's up to you. I mean, you can still play fingerstyle. The good thing about classical guitar is very versatile. Anyway, going back, let's just do that, so we can do the A major chord again. Okay, so one mistake is that you forget to, you have to change your bass note, because you're now moving to E. So sometimes you're probably so engrossed in the treble, you end up still plucking the 5th string, and you should move up the 6th, because it becomes an E major add 9. Okay, so let's do it in slow motion so we can do it properly. So as you slide up, as you slide up, notice how the fretting hand changes. So the pinky finger moves 2, the rest moves 1. As you move, the middle finger now goes to the 2nd string on the 5th fret, on the 6th fret. Sorry. So it's like this. So try not to leave your pinky behind, so you won't end up having a wrong note. So you can do it smoothly. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So after that challenging part here, you now move to your A chord, A major chord. Same arpeggio in ascending order, note-wise. And then go to E. You can either do a sliding thumb, or just put middle finger on 2nd fret, string 4, and index finger 1st fret, string 3, pluck E, and then pluck string 4, 3, and 2 in unison with your bass. Okay, so it's basically an octave lower than the notes you played here. Okay. So it's similar to the piano effect when it's playing in the high treble, then it goes down an octave. So let's practice that. that, you now go to the singing part. So you pluck A, and then index finger on 2nd fret, 2nd string, and you pluck it in unison with the open E string. You can play it in 1, 2, 3, or it's up to you. So this is not exact, it's still classical, but you can have some freedom with how you pluck. So it will sound like this. And then after that, you go down to a G. G major 7. So you bring your middle finger on the 3rd fret of string 6. So the only strings you're playing are the bass and the latter 2 treble. And then you go. So after this, so you let go of that and you pluck this 2 times, 3 times. Becomes open B and open E, open 2nd, open 1st, and then go back to A, and 1, 2, pluck this twice. You just let the A string bass ring out. So pluck this 1, 2, 3, and then go E. Okay. Everything you've got, everything you've got. Yeah. So you from here. So from here, you now have index on fret 2, string 2, and pinky on 1st string, string 5. So you're gonna do a slide up. So pinky slides 2 frets up to fret 7, while your index finger slides 3 frets to fret 5. So you transition from your A to an E major. Now in the E major scale. So make sure you don't actually accidentally slide it to the wrong fret, because it's gonna end up dissonant sounding, not in the scale. So yeah, see, now it's in the B major. You want to stay from A to E, so you don't do that. It's supposed to be like this. Okay? And then so so 1, 2, 3. So first pluck at 2, 2nd pluck at 5, and then back at 2, and then back at 2. Okay? Okay? So that's how you do it, right? So you don't overstretch, because you might end up playing the wrong thing. So you also don't want to lack the slide, so you don't want to end up having those common mistakes. So okay, so you now have 1/3 of the song go, and then you now go up to the 7th fret, because you're now going to the B minor. So bar at the seventh fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 11th fret, pinky at the second string. And then pluck at the first string. And then go to fret 9. And then just leave the bar and pluck 6, 4, 3, 2. Yeah. And then arpeggio upwards, root at the 6th string, and then introduce your E dominant 7, one big group pluck, and then you can add the additional notes here. Even if you just do this, it's okay. You can add this. And then it will go back to the it will now go to the chorus. Sometimes you wanna go. So the chorus melody. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name. They're always glad you came. Now that melody will be played along with the arpeggio, right? So you don't just wanna play, you know, after doing all those complex, then you still want to play the song completely. So how do you make sure that you keep your melody safe and as clean as you can while still incorporating the chords? Because that's the purpose of fingerstyle / classical music, stylized music, is that it maxes out the polyphonic potential of 6 strings on a wooden box to produce intricate voicings. Okay? So of course, Bida, we highlight the melody. You want to make sure that you're playing that, but you still have chords around it, if that makes sense. So from here, you can do that if you want, but well, 1, 2, 3, and then from the 1, 2, 3, see, you can keep it open if you want it to sound like an A9, or if you wanna, you can do it like this. But you don't really want to press on frets, on strings that you're not really using, right? Because we want to make sure that our hands are efficiently used, especially the fretting hand. A common mistake most non-formal, informally learned guitar players do is that while they're doing a fingerstyle or plucking thing, they think along the chord. So let's say they're gonna they're gonna press the entire chord, but they're only playing this. See? Like, why did you need to press this if you're not going to use the root note of C? Then just press this. Just press what you're going to use. I admit that was actually my mistake back in the day. And I sometimes, when I'm not thinking about it, I still do it that way, and it's technically it's not wrong. I mean, it's not wrong, but it's not efficient. It's not efficient. It's not efficient, okay? It's not efficient, and the key is you want to keep your hands free enough so that it can be ready to play anything that your piece demands or piece needs to be done, okay? So D, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So so 1, 2, 1, 2. So now it's the bass going to descend from A to G. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So you just hammer on the second fret. And then back to third fret, ring finger on your B string, so it's a D note. Okay. Yeah. So A, then G. So what's happening in the bass? So it starts at A. Okay. So once you go to D, once you go to the D major chord of that part of the song, so it now sounds like from D, then go to E. So from E, you're now at E. Just let the bass note ring out, and then you now have your index finger on string 3, fret 1, middle finger on string 4, fret 2. So you have E, E and G sharp, and then you will now slide up. Goes now to fret 2 and fret 4. So it's now A and C sharp. So you're now sliding along E major, then F sharp minor, then G sharp minor, along the G sharp minor scale. It's a very classical technique. It's also used in this. It's also used in in a Mr. Big song. I'm the one who wants to be with you. Deep inside, I know you feel it too. Rolling on the line. Right? So you can borrow, if you're thinking by song, you can borrow that technique from that Mr. Big song. Now, if you're thinking along musical scale wise, you're playing along E, F sharp, minor, then G sharp, minor. And then you just repeat. So you do that one repeat of that lick, and then from after the second time you traverse through this, everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Now you're here, you now bar up to string 5 because you're now in C sharp minor territory. So this is the easier part because from here, so you're now the C sharp minor 7 chord, so it's in that form if you're thinking in chords. So I'm teaching this in a way that caters to both those who know who know some classical music, and those who think along chords. If you're thinking by chord, you now have the bar chord form of C sharp minor 7. So from here, you now bar. Okay, you now bar up here. So pluck 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 at string 2. So you pluck the E note 3 times. So your C sharp minor 7, then for a split second, so from here, 1, 2, 3, then ring finger ascends to the string 3 at fret 6. But a while ago, it was at fret 6, string 4. So from C sharp minor 7, and then the melody now goes here. So now it's on open D. So from D, everybody knows. So it ascends to E, but you go back to your E root. You wanna go where everybody knows your name. Then you just pluck the A major. Then you go back to here. And that's how the entire Cheers song goes. So the last part that we need to practice is that you wanna go where everybody knows your name, because after that the song ends and then the show begins. It's a very short song, but if you think about it, there's a lot of techniques that you can actually use, and I consider it a good beginner song or intermediate song for those who are still beginner level in the classical music. And it's a nice song to play fingerstyle with as well. If you play on steel, you have more liberties to stylize it, or you can even play it in altered tuning if you want to play it in A major. You can make it an open D, then you clamp it here, then you just like play around. But it's up to you. This version is the classical guitar version, so it's in standard tuning. So let's do that again. So. See? Everybody knows, everybody knows your name. See? Sorry. You can pluck it in unison, or you can just leave the A open and then just pluck this twice. It's up to you. Okay? You can pluck it together if you like ragtime piano. It's up to you. So you just repeat what you learned after, so the 1 octave version. So we now at the ending. In the beginning, we start with the high notes, then low. The high octave version of AE, then low. So when the song ends, we start at the low register. So pluck the A major chord up to the string 2, and then ascending arpeggio, then pluck in unison. If you want to have the dominant 7th, it's an option, but most players would do it like this. Or some players do it like this. It's up to you. I personally want some dominant 7th there. And then you go back here, and then you slide back, and then you end with the A major chord. So that's how you play the Cheers theme song, where everybody knows your name. Okay? So to end this video, we'll be playing the full version of it here.